Hi there, everybody. Welcome to the show. Dana, how are you, my dear?
Um, Pretty good. Mostly good. Mostly good. It's been a interesting few weeks. Let's see. People have been asking about
About the big
about
show.
about the big show. We had our first weekend of performances, and they went over really well. And I fortunately did not get in trouble for forgetting to tell my parents about the show. So like literally I called them on opening night and I was like, hi, like as I'm at the theater and it's sold out for opening night. I'm like, hi, I just wanted you to know that
I'm
a
gonna
little
play.
princess is no, like I said, a little princess is playing down at the Morris Theater. And they said, oh, are you gonna go? And I'm like, well, I'm in it. I said they've got a show tomorrow, and I said they have a matinee on Sunday, which might be easier for you since you're coming from the North End. So they didn't make it. Deralter Trekkie, if you're familiar with it, I'm playing the role of Miss Minchin, the mean, nasty headmistress, the unscrupulous and money grubbing, mean, nasty headmistress. So it's been a lot of fun. So it's always much more fun to play the bad guy. And you know, especially when it's someone so cartoonishly bad as Miss Minchin. I do get to put in a little touch here and there as to that she's got a little bit of depth to her, um, but not much. So that's been fun. And I also got to go to a barbecue lunch where I got to meet with a handful of fellow fellow not conservatives, let's say, in my neck of the woods, and heard from two of the candidates who are running against each other in the primary to hopefully unseat Marjorie Taylor Greene in the general election. Yeah,
Fingers
I know.
crossed.
So pretty cool. Um, I think playing the bad guy is fun because like playing the good guy, you have to be more careful that you don't come across as preachy or, you know, unlikable or cartoonish. You know, you have more constraints on you. With the bad guy, you're not going to be written sympathetically. So you can kind of ham it up and play with it more. I mean, it's more playful. Same thing with side characters. I think you have um more depth in a protagonist and there's more to explore that way. It's more thinky. But your comic relief type characters and your villains, you get to ham it up more so that it's more playful. So it's just, I mean, they're both great in different ways. And that's not just me being diplomatic. It's just it's fun to do, you know, some of one and some of the other, so that you get, you know, you're not always doing kind of the same gig. Um, but you know, at the same time, having now played a couple of different villains, um, they're different. Well, because the other one was in a murder mystery,
Right.
so like I couldn't ham it up the whole time because
You don't want to give
I
it
wasn't
away.
supposed to give it away.
You can't be
Exactly,
like going like
exactly.
this the whole time. And yeah, that's
Or twirling the mustaches that I don't have, alas. You know, I've been working on it, but you know,
it's
you've
just
got a
not
head start
happening.
on me there,
It's just
Steve.
yeah. Well,
No,
yeah, but
no,
I mean, I don't have a twirlable one though. I keep it trimmed, so you
yet,
know.
yet. And see, that is a
Well,
choice that you
I'm not
make.
trying. I'm not going for the Raleigh fingers. I
See,
mean, I'm keeping it like this, but
you
um,
could. Um, so Gerald Tricky, I would say Puck is the comic side character.
yeah, I don't think
I
Puck
don't
was
think
the
Puck's a
villain.
villain.
No.
Um, so yeah, there's that, and then there's that, and then I got my class schedule for next school
Oh
year. I don't
yeah.
know necessarily where everything's going to be, but so I'm kind of nervous about that because I have two classes that I've never taught before, and yeah, I'm trying not to think about it because you know I'm not gonna. There's not really anything I can do about it right now, so I'm just not gonna think about it. Is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And then one class that I have taught before, so it's something I'll be familiar with. So I'm
And
gonna, you know,
and
there's
tonight,
gonna be
go
some
ahead.
changes. Yeah, and tonight It's
Tonight,
nice.
you are coming to us from a completely different location.
Oh yes, we've gone to visit friends. So thanks to the magic of the internet, I can still do the show. Ta-da!
The magic of the
Yeah,
internet.
it's kind of weird though. I won't be eating on the live stream because I am now in in weird time instead of in normal time.
Right,
I'm
you're in Central Time.
like this much in the
Just
central time.
a smidge, just over the
I know.
line.
Like I woke up and I'm like, what time is it? And like it was, I think 6 a.m. broad daylight, like
Yeah, because for you it would
bright.
be 7. Yeah,
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 it feels very much like this is 7 a.m. It's
yeah.
broad daylight. And plus, of course, it's the summertime. So it's like it gets light early. I'm just
Right.
like, whoa. So I went out for a walk and caught some Pokemons.
Yeah.
And got back, and almost nobody else is up yet because it's, we're on summer break. It's early in the morning. But Gibraltar Trekkie, school starts back for us at the beginning at the school where I teach in my district in early August. The students will come back, and I think teachers actually come back like August 2nd. Sometimes we come back the last day or two of July. Yeah. On the other hand, students usually get out the Friday before Memorial Day. I think we did have them because we lost like 2 weeks of classes due to COVID. We actually had finals the week after Memorial Day, but
that's true. I remember
usually get out pretty early.
When you first when you told me that, I thought that was unusual because down here, or up here, we like our school year always goes into June. Like
Yeah.
and when I was going to school, it was the same way. Like we never got summer break, before like the first or second week of June.
Yeah, I mean, summer break started when like actual solstice and such like seasonal summer started.
So so if you let them out
that.
at the end of May, then letting them back in at the start of August actually isn't that.
I mean, it's still 180-day school year.
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah,
and I will say I kind of like it better. I think our school year stretched out a little bit more, so we don't get quite as long of a summer break. But we have we have Labor Day weekend, we have fall break in October, we have Thanksgiving, and then the semester break, and then not Martin Luther King. We have Martin Luther King Jr. weekend, but then President's Day weekend, we often get a couple extra days off there as well. And then we have a whole week for spring break, which was not what I was used to when I went to high school or when I was substitute teaching up in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So
before we go any further, I posted it in the chat as a pinned chat.
Note.
But just in case anybody hasn't seen, we are going to be picking up Serenity, the Firefly movie, about halfway in, and we're going to be starting a little bit earlier from where we left off last time, just so we can sort of have a little bit of overlap. So go ahead if you haven't already, and sort of skip ahead, cue your copy of Serenity up to 56 minutes and 34 seconds in. 56:34. That is where we're going to start.
Jane's taking up most of the screen.
Yeah, Jane is. Yeah, they're in the
lounging and looking confused.
Jane is like off to the left in the foreground, and Wash is in the center of the frame in the background. So yeah,
and Zoe.
And Zoe's on the far right.
Right.
So yeah. So that's where we're picking up. But anyway, but before we start the movie, Dana.
Well, first, hang on.
Go ahead.
I did want to say congratulations to Philip Kehoe, who got his first tomatoes.
Congrats. Awesome. Yes, good for you. Good for you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
before we start the movie.
People have been asking me about how the play's going. It's going. I'm having lots of fun with it. I talked about that a little. And Steve occasionally helps me run lines. So we figured, since we're not yet at our 20 minutes of blather, we can spend some of that showing you a little bit of the play.
Yeah.
So if you're not familiar with the story of A Little Princess, it's a novel written by the same author who wrote The Secret Garden. A Little Princess is about a rich little girl whose mother died when she was very young and who is brought to a boarding school by her father, who is then going to be returning to India, where she has been raised until she's like 8-ish, maybe 9. And he's going to be returning there to meet up with a friend of his who has discovered diamond mines. They are going to, invest in the diamond mines, and they're going to be ridiculously rich. So her father leaves her at the boarding school, and where she is spoiled and lavished upon with all sorts of things, and everybody, the adults of the school kind of pander to her. And then on her birthday, word comes through the father's lawyer that the father has died penniless. The friend the co investor slash friend took his money and ran off.
Uh-oh.
And the father was already very ill with jungle fever, and between this and the betrayal of the friend, it killed him. Mm. So then the headmistress finds out that all the money that she has spent on this lavish birthday party she's not gonna have a payment for it, because there are no, she's essentially been extending this credit for the party. It's been planned but not paid for, because when you're rich, and you don't actually, and theoretically you could pay for things, then you don't have to pay for things, because people were like, oh, you're rich, you must
exactly.
be good, you're the sort of person who would pay your debts because you have money, right? Oh my goodness gracious. And also, speaking of which, I'm also reading Debt by David Graeber, and I'm like, I'm just a teeny ways in here. I'm on page 17 now, but yeah, it's a doorstopper. So anyway, so the scene we're going to do is after Sarah has been to change out of her birthday party dress and put on a black dress because her father is dead. And she has now been called into the office by the headmistress. That's me. And is going to be told what her new station is, because the lawyer's like, look, don't throw her out, because, that sort of story gets around, just kind of looks bad, but you can make her useful.
So. Yeah. I will be reading the role of Sarah. So.
And so Sarah comes in, and this is partway through the birthday party scene. This is the end of the birthday party scene, and she is carrying her doll Emily, which her father gave her as he was leaving her at the boarding school, to tell all her secrets and worries to. And Emily has been her companion, throughout the play thus far. But at the birthday party, she was supposed to get this very expensive, extravagant doll, the last doll. And she's called it that because she wrote a letter to her father and said, I'm getting too old for dolls, so this will be the last doll. And it ends up being the last doll otherwise. So Sarah comes in, and Miss Minchin is putting things away back in boxes. She turns around. What did you bring that in here for? Put it down at once.
No, I won't put her down. She's all I have. My papa gave her to me.
You'll have no time for dolls in the future. You'll have to work and improve yourself and to make yourself useful. Everything will be different now. Miss Amelia explained things to you.
Yes, my papa's dead. He left me no money. I'm poor.
You're a beggar. You have no family, no one to care for you. What are you staring at? Are you so stupid that you cannot understand? I tell you, you are alone in the world, and you have no one to do anything for you unless I choose to keep you here out of charity.
I understand.
That doll, that laughable doll with her nonsensical, extravagant things, I actually paid the bill for it.
The last doll.
The last doll indeed. And it's mine, not yours. Everything you own is mine.
Please take it away from me then. I don't want it.
That's Emily, dude. You hang on to Emily. Sorry, broke character. Don't put on grand airs. The time for that sort of thing has passed. You're not a princess any longer. You'll wear your oldest and plainest clothes. Your elegant ones are no longer Your carriage and pony will be sent away. Your maid will be dismissed. You're like Becky. You must work for your living.
Can I work? If I can, it won't matter so much. What can I do?
Anything you're told. You are a clever child, and you speak French well. If you please me, I may let you stay here. You can help with some of the younger pupils.
May I? Oh, please let me. I know I can teach them. I like them, and they like me.
Don't talk nonsense about people liking you. You'll have to do more than help with the little ones. You'll run errands and scrub floors and help in the kitchen. If you don't please me, you'll be sent away. Remember that. Now go. Stop! Aren't you going to thank me?
For what?
For my kindness to you. For my kindness in giving you a home.
Believe this? No, because you are not kind, and it's not a home!
Don't blow out your mic, dude.
Too late. And scene.
And I've got this great walking stick that has a silver head that's a snake. And, you know, it's great because when she enters the scene, you hear tap, tap, tap as she approaches. Oh, thank you so much, Snake Bit Cat. Anyway, when she runs out, I like take a step forward and I sort of twist it so that I'm holding it almost like a club. And I'm like, oh, like when she talks back to me, I added in a bit where she talks back to me like, and then, so it's so much fun.
Sorry, Duralta Trekkie.
No, you're not, dude. Don't bother.
I'm all broke up inside.
Deceitful child. Don't lie to me. Go to your room.
Oh, Miss Minchin, come on, man.
Oh yeah, it's
Corey, I'm not even off book, buddy. So
but you read so well.
Dana's off book. She's got it down.
Yes, but you covered for my mistakes so well.
Well, you didn't mess up any cues. I mean, you jumbled things a little bit, but you didn't mess up any cues or anything. I mean,
and did you guys notice that I messed up my references to the last all, just the first one, and then I fixed it. So one thing that we changed, or that I changed from the script, but I didn't clear it with the director, who also wrote the adaptation because it's in the public domain, so she could. Is that every time Miss Minchin refers to a doll, she refers to it as it.
Right. She doesn't personify it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because Sarah refers to Emily as, Sarah personifies Emily to an extreme degree. There's a part early on where she says, it's essentially Toy Story. That she says she believes that, dolls could do all the same things that people can do. They just can't do it, or they just won't do it while people are around. And so if you're really sneaky, you might catch them, dancing or playing or whatever, but they always fly back to their place where they had been left. So, I mean, very much like, the warning Andy's coming. So very much like Toy Story. Duralta Trekkie, I tend to think of Miss Minchin as having the demeanor of, her name went away again, McGonagall, but the resentment and bitterness of Snape. So definitely carrying some Harry Potter vibes there as well. All right. Serenity now.
Nice Seinfeld reference.
Elf on a Shelf later? I don't know. I don't really get that. Or Insanity. Elf on a Shelf. Elf on a Shelf kind of is Insanity. It's more than a little creepy, let's say.
For real. So.
All right.
Okay, so once again, we are starting Serenity at time code 5634. So if you have not jumped ahead to that spot, go ahead and jump ahead to 5634 and pause it. And when I give you the countdown, I'll do 3, 2, 1, play, and we'll push play on play. And that's where we'll all start.
Almost the final countdown. It might be the final countdown. I don't know.
Well, depending on if we pause it or not during the...
You didn't pause it much last time, but that's okay.
I think we paused it once, but I mean...
Yeah. All right.
I just want to get it over with. Okay.
You suck, dude.
Oh. Now.
Come on.
Okay. Here we go. Everybody get ready. And 3, 2, 1, play. You got to respect that. At least he actually swore. I think that went well. Haven, that's a planet from one of the TNG episodes we just touched on in the Ensign's log.
Ta-da! Ooh,
You spin me right
strings,
round, baby, right round.
strings,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's so we know that it's emotional.
serious.
Oh, yeah. It's a little overexposed. I mean, these are nice desks. What a lovely dream. Oh. Does he got him an idea?
Oh, he has some thoughts. I don't know if it counts as an idea anymore.
Uh,
Charles Chapman, Winston would certainly agree.
yes, he would.
Oh, are you making a mess?
It fell on the plate.
Okay, well, that's good.
It's all good. You're welcome, Sean.
See, on that point, I don't agree with him.
Oh, that's true. What if he
Yeah,
believes in white supremacy?
yeah, there are some things that, believing in them is kind of a problem.
Yeah. Oh no, I can't believe they killed off the character they barely remembered was in this. Now's a really bad time.
Fair enough, Corey. No, you don't. It's not murder when it's government sanctioned. See, Shepard would approve.
Now that is
No.
very Christian of him. No, he did not just hang up on me.
Mm, got- there's a hair, and it's like poking me there. I
Oh, did you
think
get
that
it?
one was it. Oh, yeah, that was not fun.
If this were a musical, this would be Mal's big song. I love how he just sort of improvises this grotesque plan to cover their ship with corpses. Well, Corey, they wouldn't want Book to be left out. I mean, come on. He was their friend.
Richard and Snake, okay, yeah. I mean, Ed Shipper is just great, period. But yeah.
Oh, he's terrific. And that character is all performance. I mean, like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And I mean, and also, I mean, I'm sure he was like directed to play that way. I mean, because it could come across. I mean, he could easily have been told, play him hardened and bitter.
Right,
You know.
right. They're doing the scene in the zombie movie where the humans cover themselves in zombie blood to walk through the pack of zombies.
I mean, I hope you don't have any hangnails.
Wow, so Reaver space ends right at that planet. Like the planet is it's literally like 10 feet away from the edge of Reaver space.
Yes, Steve, it is.
I overlooked something until just now.
He didn't overlook something. It was just, because it was so weak, it was
It
difficult
was
for them to pick up.
it was so weak.
They said it.
Okay, I'm with you.
You've got expository dialogue to listen to.
Is there air? You don't know.
Seems okay. But it's not.
Kirk to Enterprise. Captain Mal's like, you all go ahead. I can tell this at a glance. Hmm. They're working. Ever heard of it? Tirota Tricky, you're right. This is a very bright planet.
And now they go to the dark place.
Ooh. What did you touch? Hey, Sarah Paulson, classing up the joint. I was going to guess that.
Apparently not.
Gotta go. It's an origin story. Oh, I'm glad I got to see that. Richard Moore. Yeah, that's you know. Now I know. That's why Reaver Space stops right at the planet.
There was a reason for it, Steve.
Okay, so our situation could be better.
The heavenly light. Pizza, obviously, Deralter Chucky.
My usual.
Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's pizza night. Except I just had lunch. I'm on weird central time. Plus, I mean,
Oh,
everybody got up late, so we had breakfast late, so then we had lunch late. That's just kind of
I
how it worked.
wonder. I wonder if the Firefly fans pissed and moaned about the lens flares in this scene the way Star Trek fans pissed and moaned about the lens flares in the J.J. Abrams movie.
Oh no, no, because this was made by Joss Whedon.
Ah,
Therefore, it is
ah.
sacrosanct. Steve, the time code is that time left or
DK
time done? I don't
Silo.
know.
Yeah, it is. It is time done. So right now we are an hour, 22 minutes, 30 some seconds in.
Alas, Richard Moore, that opportunity was missed.
Oh, this guy again.
Well, maybe the Deralter Chucky, maybe he needs to have extra pizza since I'm not having pizza.
I should eat twice as much pizza.
Oh, do we want to pause shortly, Steve, or you want to keep going?
I can keep going but I mean, Richard, do you want to pause?
Oh, not yet.
So he's a hero now?
No.
I was joking.
Okay, we can pause there as far as I'm concerned.
Let's just let it play.
Okay.
I mean, there's what, 45 minutes left?
I'd have to math it.
Oh, no, 35 minutes. 35 minutes. Yeah.
What you fail to realize is that my ship
is dragging mines.
No.
Or dragging something.
Reaver ships.
Sure. Bye. Huh?
Don't say that. Why would you say that? Didn't you ever watch the show? Corey, and I missed it? Oh,
man. Somebody fire. Weird thing to say, but cool.
It's an escape pod. DK Silo, he said it a couple of times.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah. Does he say it more?
Yeah, it's a thing. Right now they are out of control, falling towards the planet.
Yeah. Is it his catchphrase? Was it his catchphrase in the show?
It's not all the time. I don't know. Catchphrase. Anyway. Pay attention.
Oh, sorry.
I thought they were buckled.
Why do we just have loose flatware in this spaceship? Kurosh, exactly. As O'Brien said, you wouldn't want to be caught in an emergency without a second backup.
That's why you need a backup. Um, DK Silo, we finished the landing.
They're sliding.
So, yes.
What? Parker Nystrom, is that a wash joke? That's pretty good if that's a wash joke. Kurosh has a good point. So let me get this straight. That windshield can handle traveling in space with particles hitting it at crazy, insane speeds, but a spear thrown from a ship can go through it. Exactly. Oh, just cuss. The not cussing thing really bothers me.
Does it?
It's just
I
dumb.
couldn't
It's
tell.
just dumb. I mean, we just saw a character
Blah,
get
blah, blah, blah,
speared
blah.
through the chest and killed, and he can't say goddamn
It's not what he says.
because it's dumb. It's just dumb.
Wah, wah, wah.
DK Salano, as far as I know, Goram is just a made up word. It's not a Mandarin word. A backup. Uh huh.
Walter Checky, I think it's funny because it's not deliberate. He's not trying to motivate her.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, with you.
Why do we have this thing?
DK silo, non-OSHA compliant architecture. Yeah, a lot of that in sci-fi, isn't there?
No logical sense.
We shouldn't have to do this. Oh, that was almost a railing kill. Mal almost died from a railing kill.
Why? Whatever. Because of plot.
Yeah, just shoot him a whole bunch more times.
Exactly. That's saying a whole lot, Richard Moore. She said sarcastically.
Yeah, more OSHA compliant than the Death Star. Yep.
He never claimed to be a silent assassin.
That's true. He never did.
Oh, don't worry, there, Ultra Trekkie. They will. I do like this. DK Silent because it was there in the show. Whoever wrote this episode should die.
Oh, come on. I shot you like 50 times. What are you doing?
Radical bacon. Yes, the thing has.
Yes, the thing has happened.
Well, that thing did. Now there's this thing.
Nice.
Fighty, 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 fighty. JQ, this is fighty, fighty, fighty.
Fighty, fighty, fighty.
Oh wait, this. Here we go. Here we go. Dun 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 dun. Fighty, fighty.
Ooh. Pedigree him, pedigree him. Yeah, DK Silo, that was
DK
earlier.
Silone, yeah, we saw the beginning of the Reavers.
Thanks, Rockin' Donkey. We're only going to be staring at the screens for about another 15 minutes, and then the movie will be over, and then we'll be talking.
Woohoo! I find that hilarious in retrospect.
Hi.
That's an awesome dress.
And so they go to Tatooine.
Yeah, Richard Moore. That's kind of what I was figuring. It's like,
Just let it roll.
Ugh.
They're all too tricky. My name is Ray. Ray Skywalker.
Charles.
I hate
Which
Mr. Plot
one?
Device. Mr. Universe. I hate Mr. Plot Device too, Charles Chapman. I was not grieved by his death at all.
Well, yeah, but Rock and Ducky, yeah.
I think all the music for Loki has been really good so far. It's been one of the high points of the show for me.
Oh. What?
Um,
Oh. Sorry, I missed
DK
that
Silo
one.
mentioned the music from Loki. Yeah. I think it's one of the best parts of the show.
Actually, and I've told you this already, Loki's got a female composer.
Yes, sis, yes. And she's great.
I'll have to look her up. I haven't actually watched the series, but I was like, oh, he's got a female composer. So if the music's good, I may have to see what else she's done.
Steak pit cat. The best part of Mal's fight with the operative is when he says, "Save Martha."
Who, Mal or the operative?
I guess the operative when he's like pinned to the railing with the sword. Save Martha.
Yeah. Everything.
Let's see if I remember how to fly.
Wow. And there we go. So,
Are you done? I'm not done yet. You must be a
or
little bit. You must be a little bit ahead of me.
yeah, I noticed that sometimes
Yeah,
mine doesn't, like, even if we're synced up. That's
yeah,
one of the nice things about pausing it and then rechecking it.
yeah. I mean, I'm almost there though.
Yeah, it's that. It's that. Are you on that final conversation?
Yeah,
The dramatic, have to love your ship.
yeah. Love makes it fly.
But it's so common. All right, I'll shut up. You let me know when you're done, and then I'll whinge some more.
Okay, that's and there's not like a post credit scene or anything.
I don't remember. I mean, there's a little bit at the end, like this,
Oh, is there?
like before the credits.
Oh, before yeah. But
That
they're okay.
the
Yeah,
little
I just skipped ahead to make sure there's no post credit scene. Okay, um, so that's it for Serenity
and Firefly.
and
Bye bye.
Firefly.
Oh,
Yeah, Kuroshi, I
does
catch the part of the ship flying off. Yeah, I caught
you
that.
catched it?
Yeah, right in the face. Um, so there you go. I have to be honest with you. I had pretty much lost patience with it by the end. Like, I mean,
By what part of the end?
like they just, I'm just, I when Wash was killed, I felt nothing. I was just like, oh, whatever. Like and then when they were all like, when the big fight scene at the end, when they're all like in the tunnel and then Mal is fighting
Uh-huh.
the bad guy, like I just sort of realized like I don't care about any of these people. Like this movie could kill any of these people and I wouldn't give a shit. Um, and I don't know if it's because I think part of it might be that I've seen there have been there
Oh, you've hurt radical bacon
I'm
feelings.
sorry. I just look. I still like. Well, I there was a couple. I had a couple thoughts when people in the live chat reminded me of some things when I was watching it, and it just kind of helped me put it in perspective. And one of them was because I and actually whoever was the first person to mention that Summer Glau was the ballerina in that episode of Angel, I didn't realize that until somebody pointed that out. I completely but it's been a long time since I watched that episode, but. Uh, my first thought after that when someone said like, "Oh, she was the ballerina in that episode of Angel where they're like trapped in the ballet, right in the ballet theater, and they're like reliving like I guess it's like haunted, and they're like being sort of possessed by the spirits of people that were members of the ballet. And I thought, oh, you mean that random episode of Angel that's better than any episode of Firefly and better than this movie? It's just, I don't know. Like, it's okay. Like, now that we've watched all of it, like we've watched every
Mhm.
episode and we've watched the movie, it's okay. Like, I really don't get the level of devotion that has been heaped on it.
The
Or it's,
obsessiveness.
yeah, it's like, it's not, I mean, it's not bad, but again, like by the end of the movie, I was just kind of like, all right, let's just come on, you know. Like, I don't really care about these characters. I don't really care about the story. I'm not invested at all in, oh, is he gonna send the message to the rest of the verse about the origin of the river? Like, why would I care? Why would I possibly care about that? Um, I do think,
Because they're not terrible people being terrible to each other.
but yeah, but see, we've already established that we know that they're not terrible people. I mean,
So,
I guess like the movie, I don't know, and part of it is like it's a movie, and you do need to have like I did one thing about the movie I did appreciate was that it was written uh in such a way that it could stand alone. That
mhm.
it didn't feel like an extra episode of the TV series. Like it felt like a
Yeah, like a
movie.
long episode. Yeah.
And yeah, and I appreciated that. So, and I guess part of that is, it the idea is to give the movie a little bit of an emotional resonance at the end where it's like, but again, it's just it's reminding me of similar better things. Like I was watching it tonight and I was like, oh, it's like Guardians of the Galaxy if Guardians in the Galaxy wasn't half as good. I
Oh,
mean, I
wow.
mean,
I didn't like Guardians of the
oh,
Galaxy.
I would watch the worst 5 minutes of Guardians of the Galaxy more than I would. I mean, like I mean, I guess maybe we just have a difference of. I thought both Guardians of the Galaxy movies were fantastic, and I
Maybe
especially
the
like
second one was fantastic. I didn't bother to go see it because
I
I feel the way you feel about Firefly, about Guardians of the
and
Galaxy.
and I especially liked the second one. The second one almost made me cry at one point. Um, but
Almost.
but there's a moment in toward the end of the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie when Star Lord is trying to sort of rally the troops to go and do the heroic thing where he says, this is our chance to give a shit. Let's give a shit. Oh, and he actually swears. He uses a real swear word, not a fucking made
That's
up.
the real reason.
That real
That's what's really got
that
it for you.
that
That
it
the
really
real
gets on my
cussing.
nerves. It really gets on my nerves. It's so
Steve,
dumb. It's so
Steve,
dumb.
Steve,
But yes,
does it bother you?
it bothers me a lot. It's like this
Wait,
isn't
wait,
this
wait,
is
wait, 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 wait. No, I'm sorry. I got that wrong. Something vexes thee.
it bothers me a lot because it's like, why in this grown-up movie made by grown-ups for grown-ups are the people not talking like grown-ups? It just bothers me. It's dumb. um but anyway, and it's like, and by the way, Guardians of the Galaxy is a Disney movie and has more actual swearing in it than Firefly, but whatever. uh
Ratings, the MPAA.
but but in Guardians that beat works better because up to that point they haven't completed that character. Like when them choosing to do a selfish thing means more because we haven't really seen them do that. But we've seen the characters in Firefly do selfless things before, so it's not really that big of a deal that they're choosing to do a selfless thing at the end there. Although I mean, and really the only reason why it doesn't work so well for me isn't because the characters have chosen to do something selfless. It's because I don't really see why the thing they've chosen to do is that important. I mean, I get why it's important. I get why, you want to tell the people the truth. You want to, but like, it's not like a life or death thing. Like, people finding out where the Reavers come from and that the government is covering it up. Like, that's a big deal. But is it like, that's the thing that Mao gets the line where he's like, yes, when the operative is like, do you believe in that good, strong enough to die for it? Like, that's the belief that is the callback to Book's dying moments. Like, that belief. It's just, I don't know. It's really underwhelming. Like, it's really underwhelming.
Karash, yes,
Um,
apparently it did.
Karash, yeah, it does, but it bothers me. Yeah, it bothers. I think I've said the last time when we watched the first half of the movie, I talked about this too. Um, if you are, my feeling is, and maybe this is just a difference of opinion or a different creative philosophy, but if I were hired to write on a TV show or on anything, and one of the rules was that the characters can't swear because you need to get a particular rating, or it's going to be on TV and standards and practice. Like, I would just not have the characters say those words. I would just write around it by just, okay, well then they just won't swear. I wouldn't make up baby talk and have them say the baby talk instead. I find that
It
annoying.
would. I know you do, but at the same time, I think, especially, I mean, it would depend. This is an alternate, this is future, but
Yeah.
say DC stuff. I mean, characters or MCU. It would depend on who you were writing for. Like I could totally see having the existence of swearing be a thing, and it, either writing around it, but I can totally see Superman being a, darn kind of person, because it's in character for him.
Yeah, I don't mind things like that. But
But
I
it's
just but
not as a universal rule. Like,
yeah.
this is what we say instead. Yeah, I can.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I will say I wouldn't have Superman say darn, because again, I think that's baby talk. I think adults shouldn't say darn. But like, I just wouldn't
I think it's hilarious that you think it's wrong
it's
for
just
adults
dumb.
to
It's
say
just
darn.
dumb. It's just dumb. If you're a grown up, you can talk however you want. If you want to swear, swear. Don't say like dag
But
nabbit or
sometimes,
gosh darn it. I mean, God, fuck. Just
but
swear. Just swear. But my point is, I agree with you. I don't think Superman should swear either.
yeah,
I would not write him dialogue where he would use profanity. You're right. I think it's out of character for him. But I just wouldn't you know, I just wouldn't have him swear. He wouldn't say like, "Oh shoot." He just wouldn't express himself in that way.
and depending on the vibe, I could see, obviously not Batman, but I could see Bruce being written that way. Just depending on the
I
vibe
don't
that
really
you put.
see. I mean, honestly, and maybe it's because it's just what, and a lot of maybe it's because it's just what I'm used to, and because those characters are usually written for either an all ages or at least like a somewhat sort of family friendly audience. Traditionally, in their stories, they don't really swear that much anyway.
Yeah,
So, like, it's just, I mean, it's easier for me to imagine Batman dropping an F bomb than it is Superman, but I don't really think Batman would do it that often either.
yeah.
You know?
Well, no, I'm thinking in terms of characterization. Like,
Yeah.
I can see him in his Bruce Wayne persona going, gracious, instead of,
Yeah, but see,
fuck.
that's a little, but well, it's just like Duralta Trekkie saying Clark saying, gosh darn it. Like, to me, that sounds tongue in cheek. That I can picture like the Christopher Reeve Clark doing it, and I think
yeah.
Christopher,
Like I said, it depends on the vibe that they're going
yeah,
for.
yeah.
You know,
But he's sort of, but it's almost like the use of that word in and of itself is a joke. Like, we're not meant to take it seriously, you know? Um,
I'm with Charles on this. I mean, sometimes semi swearing is just, it's fun and silly, and
yeah, I
when it
just
is
don't.
tongue in cheek, when it is tongue in cheek,
If it's
and
tongue in cheek, yes. But if I hit myself in the thumb with a hammer, like, I'm not going to say dag nabbit,
I'm not. I'm probably just gonna yell.
you
I mean,
know?
ah!
Like, when I don't really play video games anymore.
If it really hurts, then I am past, words. It just sound. It just sound.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like I don't really play video games anymore. But when I played them as a kid and a teenager, and like I had a throw the controller moment. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't saying gosh darn it or dag nabbit. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
will say, I when the Pokemon jump out of the little Pokeballs that I'm trying to catch them with for the third or fourth time, those are not gosh darn moments. Let me
no,
tell you.
I've been talking to you during during some of those moments.
And the challenge there is that quite often, you find Pokemon in places that have, art, or, are parks, or, have murals or sculptures or something like that. Or, another great place for Pokestops is churches.
Ah, where it might raise some eyebrows if you.
Yeah, I'm just like, and then I look around, I'm like, oh, well, hope I didn't say that too loud. So,
yeah, but anyway, I mean,
Daisy.
Like I say, I mean, I'm not sorry that We watched it. I didn't like hate it or anything, but there was very 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 strong what is the big deal vibes for Firefly in general and for the movie in specific. It's like, it's just kind of like, okay, like this,
Well,
okay,
it's about what's important to
you
you.
know, yeah,
Because I mean, you do hold back.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, well, I'm not.
You don't you think about what you say, and you don't say things that offend people in the way you don't want to offend people.
Oh yeah, of course, of course. Um,
So anyway, so that pretty much sums up your thoughts. You know what we didn't talk about?
yes.
How have you been since the last, over the last 3 weeks? I mean,
I've been fine. I by the way, I think somebody mentioned. Oh, I forget who it was, but I think it was
I'm
Snakebit
gonna
Cat.
turn my light on here.
Okay.
It's getting darker, and all of my light is coming from the window, and
Is it it's getting dark in the central time zone? But anyway, I just wanted to mention a Snakebit Cat a little while ago mentioned my Nightwing shirt. Thank you for saying it, for liking my Nightwing shirt. Yeah, I got three of these. I got a black one and a dark blue one and a gray one, and I'm wearing the gray one now, or the charcoal one. But yeah, um, I've look how much brighter it is.
all right.
Look how much
Quit
brighter
your
it is.
cussing.
Yeah,
Yeah, when you turn the light on.
I was talking about my Nightwing shirt. Snakebit Cat complimented me on my
Yes.
Nightwing shirt like an hour ago. But anyway, I've
even
been.
even though there's no, full finger
No,
stripes.
I know. I actually do I think I don't remember if I told you this or not. Back when I was watching Titans and we were talking about the finger stripes costume, which is clearly the best Nightwing costume. I tried to find like a long sleeve tee that had like blue stripes on the sleeve. I could not find one because if I could find one, I would totally get like a screen print thing and put like a Nightwing symbol on it. But
Yeah, it's hard.
yeah.
You there are it doesn't have like stripe, but I mean I've seen some that have like it's almost like a baseball top, but
Oh
it's
yeah,
it's
yeah, like a
higher.
raglan tee. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
and you
yeah.
might be able to do that. I don't know though.
Yeah,
So,
but
but
I mean, I've been good. I had up my video about the A&E biographies of wrestlers went up today.
which
Uh, pe-
yes,
People seem to be enjoying that one, so
eh, you're
um,
you're just like hitting them out of the park pretty regularly.
Shaw
Last
and
Wednesday's video was really well received too.
yeah, the and next week's next Wednesdays is going to be. I finished the script for it today. It's going to be about my favorite Batman comic book creative team,
Congratulations.
which was Steve Englehart and Marshall Rogers, and their run on Detective Comics in 1977 and 1978. And actually, I'm gonna start doing. It's gonna be I don't know. I'll try to maybe do one a month, depending on how long they take to do and when I can slot them in. But I want to start doing a series called Best Batman Ever, where I talk about not just comic book creative teams, but like different versions of Batman through the years. Yeah, throughout the trekking. No, not Kane and Finger. Oh, or as it was also known,
Gasp.
Finger. No, Bob Kane did draw it until he hired Jerry Robinson, and then Jerry Robinson drew it. Um, I no, I would say maybe Bill Finger, because Bill Finger was, I think both Bob Kane and Bill Finger came back and worked on Batman comics in the 50s after having been away for a while. And I think Bill Finger was actually a writer for a long time. At least had a decently long run as a writer on Batman comics. Same thing with Jerry Siegel, I think. Like, there was in some of the original creators actually came back and worked on the books for a little while. Um, but yeah, I want to do a series where each video will be like just sort of a video essay about some of my favorite versions of Batman, not just in the comics, but on TV and in the movies. And I want to do one about the BBC radio dramas that they did in the 90s of Nightfall. And then they also did another one called The Lazarus Syndrome, I think, that were really good. I love those. So yeah, but that's next week. I finished the script for for this week or just today about the Englehart Rogers run on Detective Comics, and the best part was going back and reading those comics because
Doing your research.
doing my research because I love those so much. I love those so
I'm
much.
so glad.
You're out to Trekkie. There's definitely going to be one about the Adam West Batman because, I mean, come on. And DK Silo, Nightwing is DC. Nightwing is DC. He is he's actually the original Robin all grown up. That's who Nightwing is. So, but yeah, I've been good. I mean, it's been hot here, so I haven't really gone out much. But other than that, like life has been good. I did watch. I watched the new episode of Loki, which you said you haven't watched, so I won't spoil anything. Or for anybody else who hasn't seen any of it or all, well, yeah. But Loki is kind of starting to lose me a little. The first 2 episodes I thought were really good. The last 2 episodes, it feels like it's just kind of treading water, waiting for when they can rush to the end. Which I think should be next week because it's only a 6-episode series and we're 4 episods in. So hopefully they're just sort of taking a breather for 2 episodes and then they're going to go all in for the last 2. Yeah. But I mean, somebody mentioned the music. The music is fantastic. The set design is fantastic. A lot of the show takes place in this setting called the TVA, the Time Variance Authority, which is sort of like this, agency that is in charge of maintaining the timeline and maintaining the integrity of the timeline. And it's done as the set design is like this 1970s office building, basically. And
it's thrown me because I haven't been watching it. But Dwayne,
you've been sort of like seeing it.
Yeah,
like,
and I've heard it, and they keep talking about the TVA, and that
you think it's the Tennessee Valley Authority.
Like, I know it's not what that means, but like they refer to the TVA, I'm like, and it's just for a split second, I'm like, why are they talking about the TVA? What's the big deal?
Yeah, why is this a thing in Marvel shows? I'm
just like, what are you watching? Is this? I mean, because it's obviously like it's not a documentary about the Tennessee River and how it provides our energy.
No, it has nothing to do with environment. It has nothing to do with that TVA.
And I just it just throws me off a little bit. I'm like, that's how does it fit with this? This sort of dark and gritty-ish, but not like super gritty because it's television still, even though it's not actually television. And then it's like, oh yeah, it's something else. It's their other thing. It's this other thing. It just happens to have those initials. What is it? I don't know. Don't care.
But yeah, the aesthetic is great. The music is great. The performances have all been very good. I mean, Tom Hiddleston is still great as Loki. Owen Wilson as Agent Mobius is fantastic. So I mean, it's the pieces are all really good. And like I said, the first 2 episodes I thought were good, but the last 2 it's been kind of like just sort of running in place. Like, and you're sort of thinking like, all right, let's go, let's get moving now.
They're also Trekkie. I don't know why you're telling me that because I ain't never gonna watch either one. So
yeah. Oh, and by the way, I saw a little bit earlier in the Road to Trekkie. There will not be a video in. I'm not going to do an episode of a series called Best Batman Ever about the Ben Affleck version of Batman. Sorry.
What?
Although I will say, in fairness, as I predicted before I saw the movie, Ben Affleck's Batman was far from the worst part. Like, I mean, Ben Affleck's Batman in a different universe or a different movie, I'm sure Ben Affleck would be a fine Batman.
Well, not only that. I mean, just it's one of the things. Just always remember, Steve. It could always be worse.
It could. It could always be worse. Oh, and Karosh, I bet the TVA jacket is going to be. Oh my God! Can you imagine the next time there's a Comic-Con? It's going to be nothing but TVA jackets. That's going to be such a popular cosplay. Anyway, sorry, you were going to say something.
I'm gonna have to look that up. Because I mean, I don't need any more jackets, but I'll have a cool jacket.
You'll be a TVA agent.
Whatever. What? No, I live in Tennessee near the river, and
the TVA. Yeah.
Exactly. A lot of people have been asking what we're gonna watch now that the Firefly run is over.
Do you want to announce it now?
Well,
or do you want to wait until next week?
People might have difficulty.
That's true.
I want to make sure that people might not have it because we are going to be doing a movie. Obviously, next week we're going back to DS9.
Yes. And then the week after that, we'll start. I guess you want to do the same thing. We'll do like half of it,
the first half of the
yeah,
movie. Yeah,
yeah,
I'll have to take a look
and figure out where we're going to break it. Yeah,
where it is. Yeah, I'll have to study carefully. So yeah, so this is one that you haven't seen.
That's right.
And I'm really excited about, and it's a movie, and I don't think anyone has come remotely close to guessing it.
People have guessed for months since we said we're going to keep
going.
I
told you that I wasn't going to tell you yes or no, but let me tell you, I will go ahead and tell you now that all of the guesses have been completely wrong. You won't guess it.
Nobody even got close, but which is fine because we didn't expect anybody to guess it because it's a complete departure from.
Yes, it is. It is not science fiction.
It's not a sci-fi thing. Yeah, no.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if it's streaming anywhere.
I think it is. Let me see.
HBO Max.
It's on. I can watch it on HBO Max, and of course, it's available to rent from all kinds of different places. But it's on HBO Max, with a subscription.
Yeah.
So that is where I will watch it.
Okay.
I guess you probably have. Do you have your own copy of it?
Yes, I do. No, it's not Sharknado.
It's not Sharknado. No, it's not Sharknado. Oh,
I'm so excited.
Okay, do you want to tell them what it is? Do you want to tell them what it is so everybody has time to figure out? You know, if they need to, if they don't feel like, if they're going to have to rent it and they don't feel like spending money, they can find like an illegal torrent to download it or whatever. Not that I endorse such a thing. Not that I endorse such a thing.
That would be wrong.
That would be wrong, and I would never endorse that. Anyway.
No, guys and ladies, and those who are neither, like me, you know, I'm not a guy, but I'm no lady.
Okay, so the next thing is
Magic Mike.
Magic Mike. So
Magic Mike, everybody! I am so stoked. This is it's such an interesting character movie. It's fun and hilarious and interesting story, interesting characters, and yeah.
And yeah, I have never
There's dead silence in the chat.
I've never seen it. But I do happen to know that it co-stars Kevin Nash, who is of course a professional wrestler. So I have that in. I have that in, but yeah, I've never seen it. But I've heard that it's good actually. Like I've heard it got really good reviews when it came out.
Okay,
and not just from housewives. I mean, like from everybody, like people who everybody who saw it thought it was great. So I'm looking forward to watching it. Yes, Geralton Trekkie, the stripper movie. Yes,
exactly. And no, I actually know what I want to do after that, and Steve doesn't know.
You haven't told me yet. Yeah,
I haven't told you.
We haven't even really talked about it because we've been sitting on Magic Mike for so long. I mean, it's like
I know,
you know,
but I know what I want to do after that.
Great.
Corey, that's awesome. Good for you.
Oh, good for you, Corey. Yeah, so
they're also tricky with the puns. So one of the things that may be interested in, and you can find this on YouTube, is that there's an interview with that Anne Hathaway and Matthew McConaughey were on a talk show. What's his name? Graham Norton. Graham Norton.
Yeah.
And no, it won't be Magic Mike XXL. It'll be something else. Again, very different in tone.
Awesome. Now I can't wait to find out what it is.
But you'll have to. So there.
I will.
So I don't know what she was going in to read for. And it was a Christopher Nolan
thing. It was a Christopher Nolan thing because
because I guess whatever they were promoting together, and
I guess it was Interstellar then.
Maybe, and he said that he had Matthew McConaughey in for Geralton Trekkie. I've watched a couple of them. They told her that they'd had Matthew McConaughey read for the lead. And she's like, oh, he's good. And they said, oh, you've seen him in this other movie? And she said, no, I've seen him in Magic Mike. And she's like, my girlfriends and I watched that movie, and I came out of it and I said, that man is going to win an Oscar. And I was right. And she's just so gleeful in it. And she's like, and the way she explains it, she is spot on. His character is just amazing. He's not a good guy, but I mean, he's skeevy and scheming, but he's still hot. I mean, he's got a toned bod, but he's kind of aging out of the profession a little bit. But just that the character dynamic, his character is so fascinating, and he absolutely he does wonders with the role. It's really, really good, and just all of it. It's fun, and it doesn't take itself too seriously, but it makes some really interesting points, and it's good.
I can't wait to watch it.
Richard Moore, the movie's going to be split over 2 streams. So over the next week, oh gosh, that's going to be challenging. I'm going to have to figure out a way to watch that without mortifying anybody. So and figuring out a stopping point, and then we'll go back to DS9. And some people have asked what we're doing. Philip Kehoe, I think I don't know if he wrote it or if he just sort of pitched it. I don't know that he wrote the final version of the screenplay, but I know he was involved in the process. No, DK Silo. He didn't win it. Nobody, I don't know if anybody won it.
No, he didn't win it for Magic Mike. He won it for I forget what he won it for, but he won it after Magic. But Anne Hathaway was basically saying, after I saw him in that, I knew he would win an Oscar for something eventually. I knew he was that good. Yeah.
So people are asking about what we're going to be doing after DS9 season 1. I think we're just going to do season 2, but I guess that's up to you.
Well, and also up to you. I think we kind of said, well, you told me when we started that, after we get through season 1, you'll let me know if you want to keep, if you want to watch season 2.
We're both reserving the right to tap out.
Right.
After any episode.
Absolutely.
Go into the episode, presumably we're not going to tap out in the middle of a live stream.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah. I mean, if we start season 2 of Deep Space Nine and you all of a sudden hate it, you're not going to have to watch the rest of the season. I mean, we'll Dallas Buyers Club is what McConaughey won for Best Actor for. Yes. I mean, I'm happy to keep watching Deep Space Nine. So, okay. But if you ever get sick of it,
Ellie.
You okay?
There's a sneeze, but it's stuck. I don't think it's coming out either. It's right there. Woo.
Oh, it's adorable. But so next week we will be watching Deep Space Nine again. We will be watching, actually, it's one of my favorite episodes, Dramatis Personae. Oh, I love that episode so much. Has some of my favorite overacting from Avery Brooks. I love it. But anyway, that's next week. And then the week after that, we watch the first half of Magic Mike. So those of you who want to watch along with us, which hopefully is all of you, because I feel like it's a lot more fun if you're watching the thing we're watching while you're watching us. You have 2 weeks to find a copy of Magic Mike online or on DVD or, the Pirate Bay. From your local library. Wherever, it's none of my business. I neither condone nor condemn whatever methods you feel necessary to pursue to find a copy of Magic Mike. But I will be watching it on HBO Max. Dana has her own copy, and that's what we're watching. We'll watch the first half of that in 2 weeks. So you have 2 weeks to find a copy of Magic Mike. But next week it's Dramatis Personae on Deep Space Nine. I've been looking forward to that one for a while.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Well, I hope I don't think it sucks. For more
Me
reasons
too.
than one.
I hope. Well, I think you'll. There are at least a couple of moments in it that I'm pretty sure you'll like.
Oh, okay.
It's a fun episode. Episode.
Does the Ask Me Anything now happen in Deep Space? Wait, what? I'm confused.
Ask Away, he means. Because we skipped a week, so yes. Now Ask Away, because this Friday,
it threw it off.
Because this Friday we're going to do the next chapter of The Other Westmore, and then so then next week will be the next Ask Away. Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Okay, so
right.
I guess now is when we do like plugs.
Yeah. Tell
Okay,
everybody about
so
your YouTube channel. Okay.
first,
Sorry. Go ahead.
first charity links,
Yes. Yes.
very important.
CharityLinks.page in the description. Our buddy Random Geek maintains those and keeps those up to date for us. And it's a
We have
list
some
of
friends who could use some help.
yeah.
So
If
if
you
if you have the ability and the will, that would be super super awesome.
that will be wonderful.
Oh yeah, and I have a YouTube channel, and it's down there too.
It's like the youtube.com/Dana Coldares, and it's linked in
Yes,
the description.
awesome. And kind of taking it easy this summer. I haven't done a video this week, guys.
You've been
As
busy.
you know, Steve,
You've had the play, and I
no,
mean,
I haven't this
well,
week.
well,
I mean,
but
not since Sunday.
but last week was all tech week. So I mean, when would you have
Oh
had
God,
time to
yeah.
write and shoot and send me a video to edit? I mean, it's
I mean, during the day, like when I'm not at rehearsal. But yeah, rehearsals have really been kicking my butt. It's definitely a challenge since it's like on the other side of where I work, so it's a decent drive. This whole doing a play in the summer thing kind of sucks. When I'm driving that far. I mean, if I can schedule it for the school year, then I just drive a little bit further south
because you're
and drive
already
all the
mostly
way
there.
home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's near where I work. But then, man, just making that drive just for rehearsal is kind of just, it's far. Anyway, also, I've started being more active on Twitter,
Yes.
and so I've really started to enjoy that. Because I'm not as connected to my local in-person community. So I run my mouth more on Twitter than I do on Facebook. On Facebook, it's usually like, "Hey, Steve, I saw this thing. I think somebody should share it."
Can you share this for me? I don't want
Maybe
my
I'm
name on
like,
it.
exactly. I'm just like, yeah. I feel I do. I self-censor on Facebook much more so than on Twitter. Whereas
Yeah.
Twitter, I'm just like, share this. Everybody should know this thing. And oh, thanks, DK Silo. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, he says he commented on at least one tweet. I am all about the comments, you guys. The
Feedback,
whole
baby.
like and follow thing, that's great. Daryl from Trekkie, fanfics. I haven't written any fanfic in a while, but I will say I just finished reading
Skimming.
the death and life of Superman. Yeah, I read the first 70 pages, and then I started kind of paging through it. Yeah. And yeah, it's 400 and some pages, and I finished it in a day. And I was like,
It's a
okay,
doorstop.
so
Yeah.
well, then not near, well,
Not as much as debt.
significantly less than
Yeah.
debt. Whoo, boy, that's
But
intimidating.
yeah, so yeah, I read that, as we've talked about it a little bit. I read that back when it first was published, when I was like 13 or 14, and I remember
now, question,
really.
but you'd read the comics, right?
I had not read all the comics. I had read I was not reading like. No,
right, but I mean, you'd follow the storyline in some of the comics that you were reading.
I knew the basic gist of it.
Yeah,
but I wasn't really. I was reading Batman comics back then, but I wasn't reading Superman comics like regularly. So no, a lot of especially like, well, what you were talking about that you found to be one of the big weaknesses of it, like just the glut of backstory and flashbacks. A lot of that was new to me when I read the book originally. I remember liking it, but again, I was like 14, and it's quite possible
it was Nucci that wasn't I'm trying to remember. Wouldn't that have been after Lois and Clark?
Well, but I mean,
yeah. Some of the backstory stuff would have been new. Like, there was some of the backstory stuff that,
like Lex Luthor Jr. That particular version of Supergirl, which is the Matrix version, the shapeshifter version. I was not familiar with her.
Really? Okay. Well, no. I had been reading Supergirl. I must have been reading Supergirl before that, because I remember Linda.
Yeah.
But oh God, the way she's written here is just oh gosh, yeah. Just it's bad, and she's So, um, it's not just dumb, but it's the Lois and Clark Tempest Fugit version of dumb. How dumb was
Yeah,
she?
like
My
because she's Lex's
God.
girlfriend. She's Lex's girlfriend, and it's like
Yeah.
she's like a
Like,
babe in the woods.
yeah, and I mean, just his behavior toward her. I mean, and the thing is, like, the Lex in her universe was, but like, she knows they're not the same person.
Right.
Duh. I just, oh gosh, I was not, and she's one of so few female characters of
Yeah.
any significance whatsoever.
Yeah.
Um, I did like some of the recurring, like, side characters, like the diner owner guy who
Oh, Bibbo.
finds crypto. Bibbo, yeah,
Bibbo.
I
Yeah.
like, some specifically. I mean, they're very caricature-y.
Oh, yeah.
But what I liked about them was the way they intersected with other side characters in different ways. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
The webbing of that was pretty cool. Um, yeah, they're also tricky, but I mean, she's not written as, like, we're supposed to think, like, she's not, like, intellectually deficient or socially deficient. Like, it doesn't make sense, except, no, I'm not sitting through I'm not going back to that book.
You're
That is
putting your
not,
foot down. I'm
I
not
did
doing a
that.
read along.
No,
Um,
I suffered through Pride and Prejudice. You want to see me suffer? You go watch that video
watch,
series.
watch the Pride and Prejudice series.
I read the book. I'm done. But to Alter Trekkie, I will say this. This made me go, you know what? I need to go back and read some more Clois, because
Yeah.
I can do so much better than this.
I will say,
Isn't-
as I think I said to you yesterday when we were messaging about it, talking to you about it reminded me of a lot of stuff from the book that I had forgotten about. And if nothing else, it's a fun reminder of how absolutely fucking nuts the Superman comics were in the early 90s. Because, like, I guess when you're back in that time, it's not as, unusual. But when you stop and think about it, it's like, okay, so Supergirl wasn't Superman's cousin from Krypton. She was a shapeshifter who was like a completely different person. Lex Luthor wasn't Lex, it was Lex's son who
but
turned
it
out
was Lex.
who eventually turned out to really be Lex, but
Yeah.
but he had like hair and a beard, and it was like presented as a completely different character. And it's just
Originally, but it was,
originally, yeah.
Did
And
anybody not see that coming? Because,
Well,
hello, I mean, come on.
Don't
That
you
was
love
just
how
like, it was,
I guess it's one of the tricks to, a really, really long lived comic book character is they're constantly swerving away and then back into the status quo, because
Yeah.
it's like, they do this really, really radical thing where it's like, oh, the original Lex Luthor is gone. Here's this new Lex Luthor who's a completely different person. That's different. It's the same Lex. You know what I mean? Like, they're constantly, and that's, I guess that's a way of keeping it going,
Once they brought Jason Todd back, I had no hope.
Yeah, like, I mean, I see people on Twitter who are a lot more up to date on the comics than I am, who say that some of the stuff they've done with Jason recently has been good, but I'm kind of like the way you are with Damian, where just in principle I'm against it. It's like, his death meant something.
Yeah,
and
I'm the same way with Babs. Yeah, I liked her so much better as Oracle, and I understand the rationale for it. I mean, literally, people freaking come back from the death, and
sure,
back from the dead, and I'm gonna eventually deal with that in my Batgirl story. But I mean, it's Doomsday. Doomsday was boring. I was like, I did not care at all about Doomsday. I mean, it's just like. And the one thing I remember thinking, I'm like, why is Doomsday a dude? I mean, it's clearly this sort of force of nature, as in, just force of nature run amok. And could have been a really interesting antagonist. But there's no reason for it to take on a like person-shaped two-legged form. There's no reason for that whatsoever. There's no reason for it to have a humanoid shape whatsoever. The fact that it's, that it was interesting, and I mean, I think sign of the times that Doomsday gets gendered as male, because
Oh, sure.
ain't nobody seen no chromosomes or genitalia, so don't be giving me none of that. It's because this is a powerful character who can stand up to Superman, so clearly it has to be a dude.
You don't want
I mean,
Superman killed by a girl, do you?
and like, non-binary characters
Or yeah,
are just like not even
they don't exist. Yeah,
yeah, not even conceived of
yeah.
by, the general population.
I mean, I think Doomsday is a plot device. I think that's what he is. At least, actually, Doomsday is an example of what we've talked about recently. As far as like the how you introduce an unstoppable villain, and then every time you bring them back, they're
Yeah,
less and less effective because you've already beaten them. Doomsday is. I don't even think Doomsday is even a good example of that, because I don't think Doomsday was ever that great of a villain to begin with. I think he's a plot device. Like, the point of the story was, we're going to kill Superman. That's,
yeah,
the story wasn't about Doomsday, and it wasn't about Superman's conflict with Doomsday. Doomsday was just a plot
no,
device to get Superman
yeah,
dead so they could go on with the story they wanted to tell.
right,
So, and as that, he was fine. But, like, did I care about Doomsday as a character? No. Was I
nope.
interested in where he came from, or what his backstory was, or what his thoughts and feelings were about things, or his motivation? No. And I wasn't supposed to care. He was just there to
Um,
kill Superman.
and that was, I won't even say disappointed, because by the time Lex came around, I was just like, it was just
Yeah.
like, yeah, whatever. But Lex was just written so poorly. I mean, just terribly poorly. Couple things. First of all, as Lex Jr., he doesn't actually have Lex's memories, so we're experiences. So there's no real reason for him to hate Superman, because
It's his birthright.
Exactly. It's just like he's fated to hate Superman because, he's Lex Luthor. It's just like we know that he's evil, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. That's just terrible writing, but whatever. And then also he has a scene where he's just like, I can't believe this guy killed Superman. I was supposed to get to do that. I mean, all of this, of course, in his head,
Yeah.
because there's somebody around he doesn't want to. But I'm just like, and then later on, he's just feeling kind of purposeless and lost. Like, there's no challenge left for him. I'm like, right. And I think I complained about this too. I was like, seriously, Lex Luthor wasn't thinking ahead about what he was going to do after he killed Superman. He didn't plan ahead for that. He had no thoughts about his future after he killed Superman. Hadn't made any plans at all.
Lex Luthor he's
just winging it.
He just didn't plan ahead. He just didn't think of it. Well, and the other thing is that I thought about, and like, it's just, I guess you could chalk it up to, it's just a different take on the character, and not everybody has to see the character the same way. But like, the whole bit about, oh, now that Superman's gone, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, that to me doesn't speak to Lex Luthor. Like, I feel like, I mean, Lex, like, at least the original Lex, I mean, that dude has definitely thought about what he's going to do after Superman's dead. And if he had the chance to kill Superman, he would do it. None of this Joker shit where the Joker, the Joker doesn't really want to kill Batman. He wants to keep Batman around because it makes life more interesting. And they have this thing. No, Lex would totally kill Superman.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's not what Lex is about. It's not like Lex doesn't see Superman as, oh, at last an adversary worthy of me. Like, no. He wants to get rid of him. Like, he'll get rid of him as soon as he can. He doesn't care. Like,
he's, but and I just thought that was badly written. The bit with Lois and Lana, the whole bit about,
oh, you told me, remind me about that, because I had forgotten about that.
Not being over Clark.
Like,
and marrying Pete when she knows she still has a thing for Clark, and he'll never see me that way. So I guess I'll just marry somebody else while I know that I don't love this other guy, and like, Pete's not in it, and I'm just like, oh, that's just so like, gosh, that's
you'll
terrible.
Do, Pete. You'll do.
I guess I gotta marry somebody. I mean, she could just stay single. Like, seriously.
What about? I mean, what about?
That's just rude.
What about Kyle?
Who?
from Superman and Lois. That's her husband in Superman and Lois, Kyle.
Oh, okay. Yes. And so the whole thing of, not getting, like, I remember who I had a crush on in high school, and like, I think I've seen some posts from that person. I don't know if we're Facebook friends or not, honestly. Maybe they're just not really active, or maybe we're not Facebook friends and somebody else just shared one of their posts.
You just happened to see one, yeah.
I've happened to see one, and I'm just like, oh, that's nice. Like, I haven't gone to any of my high school reunions. I've missed out. I would like to go, but it's far, and they always schedule them for like the fall, and I'm like, I'm teaching. I could go, but it's just like, it's just more work. Yeah, and I just, like, I can't fathom never getting over your high school sweetheart that you never went out with,
You're right,
ever, who's never been interested in you, and you've carried a torch for them your entire life, and you've known about it, and you married somebody else.
who was their best friend? Not just like a random somebody else, but Pete was like Clark's best friend. Like, they were all.
Yeah,
it's like Lana did. It's like Lana literally just turned to the next guy. Like, after Clark was gone, she literally just turned to the next closest guy and was like, sure.
I just okay. So I haven't, and I don't want to watch. I really do. I would like to talk about Superman and Lois with you, but I kind of don't want to watch it. Just I've got hours. I've watched 2 episodes or something.
I think you did 3 episodes, but yeah, you have some catching up to do. Yeah,
that's a lot. So, yeah. But okay, are they doing? They've been teasing the whole Lana and Clark thing. Please tell me they don't get together.
No, they don't. I'll spoil that much for you. No, that's not a direction that they've gone. Like, they haven't even really hinted at that. I mean, from either side, like, they haven't really, there hasn't been any scene of Lana going like, oh, Clark, there's the one that got away. I mean, they haven't really done any of that. That's
not a hint, dude.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, they haven't, there doesn't seem to be, I mean,
I don't know. Because, I mean, there were some things that made me go, uh-oh, in those early episodes, but I don't know how much of that was, actual sort of, tension, and how much of it was me just going, oh God, please don't.
There was, and I'll say this in a way that hopefully isn't spoilery, but there is a scene in one of the recent episodes. I think not the most recent episode, but the one right before that, where there is a flashback to when Clark comes back to Smallville for the first time after he has found the Fortress of Solitude.
Right.
And he comes back to Smallville, like, I think it's either right before or right after his first, like, adventure as Superman in costume, right? And he comes back to Smallville, and he's been away from Smallville for a long time, and he comes back, and he goes to find Lana, and he sees that she has moved on, like, she's with somebody else. And there's like a little sort of melancholy note for Clark, but then the next thing we see is like Clark going to Metropolis and meeting Lois. So it's not like, like current present day Clark doesn't seem to have any sort of, it's just, they acknowledge that, they were together and Clark had feelings for her. And then he was sad when he came back and saw that he had sort of missed that opportunity, but then other stuff happened and life went on. It wasn't that sort of thing. So,
speaking of Chloe.
Oh boy. Yeah, today was a big day. Allison Mack was sentenced to 3 years for leading a sex cult. Not leading, but one of, sort of, she was more like a middle manager.
Or involvement in leading.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So, there's that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And on that note, But we've
Uh,
done you talk about what's coming up for you.
that's right.
Um
And yeah, so we'll be back Friday
the other Westmore,
for the other Westmore for Read Away,
which I do
because
not have at hand to hold up and show to you because I'm not at my house.
and I have the PDF, so I can't hold that up. But yeah, Draw to Trekkie, 3 years is kind of light for what she did. I agree. You know, the whole carving your initials onto people, like that seems like that in and of itself seems like worth more than 3 years, plus all of the other stuff on top of it. I mean, um, yeah. But anyway, um, so yeah, we'll be back on Friday for that, and then we'll be back, like I said, next week. We'll be back for another Deep Space Nine episode, Dramatis Personae, which, oh, come on, it's great. So yeah,
I'll take your word for it.
and
Thanks so
hopefully
much,
hopefully you like
everybody.
it.
I
All
hope
right.
so too.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed watching Firefly along with us. We'll be back to Deep Space
We're
Nine
on,
next week. Magic Mike in 2
is it
weeks.
chapter
But
5? I've got a couple of you
chapter
asking.
5 of The Other Westmore on Friday.
Yeah.
Yes, chapter 5. That's 5. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you.
Bye.